Rd5, Harley Baker, Alfie Garrett, Patrick Lynch, and then Sid Marshall on the tail end there on row number 7 with Nigel Franklin, Paige Bingley, and that will be all the riders then. But we do have a green flag at the back then. We'll go through the MZs in just a moment's time, and it's a good start there from Hudson Cooper from the middle of row number 2. He's side by side already without Archie Ormrod.
Looks like he's drifted over to the side and he's managed to take the race lead. So yeah, stop for him.
Absolutely, Travis Rookie, your pole position man, number 7. He's dropped down to around about 4th place, I believe, there. But Keith, I think when they come around back into your side, or into your side, I should say, there, you'll see that Hudson Cooper is already in the race lead.
He was in the race lead briefly, but I think Archie Ormrod has taken these wet weather conditions like a duck to pancakes, mate. He has slipped into the front and he is heading the field as they go up the straight. The other guys are working the slipstream behind him. But I have to say, I think Ormrod's skill on the brakes in these tricky conditions is going to hold him in good stead. So I think the chances of outbreaking him have got to be pretty slim down the back there. I guess the MZs are underway as well. I'm looking for them to come over the top of the hill as I watch the Ninjas go round the back there. Yep, here come the little bikes. That is the number 13. That's Gordon Ryan, I think. That's Alex Mann in second. That's Andy Wales in third. And already there's a little bit of a breakaway from Pete Woodle there in 4th place as they come down the hill. And we've got an about braking attempt there. And that is Albright actually going up the inside. I think it might have been Arnie Carr who was leading the way. So he did get the better of his rival at the top end. And now Albright's coming under pressure for that Carr and Hudson Cooper, I think. This is a great little scrap. Watch the three of them. They're going to come back into view at the bottom of the mountain. And somebody's lobbed it out of the gooseneck there as well. Not quite sure who that is. Somebody's got to come across the line. But they're right in the danger zone. They're being called out by the marshals to get away from the bike because they ain't picking it up and going anywhere in a hurry. So all happening out here at the moment, guys. So I've watched the MZs down the hill and out of the chicane, and I think Gordon Ryan out in front by a good margin. Yeah, I think it could well be. I'll marshal step the bike out there. Let me know who doesn't come across the line. Let me know who does come across the line at the sharp end, because they're heading back towards you very shortly, aren't they?
Yeah, absolutely right there. I'm just looking on the timings here in the sectors, and nothing up yet at the moment. But Arnie Carr is the man who's leading the way over number 40 of Archie Ormrod. Then it's Hudson Cooper, Travis Rook, and Keys Ramsey up next. And then the number 27 machine of Alfie Garrett. So Alfie Garrett has made up 8 positions. He was in the middle of row number 5, and he's up into 6th place now. That is also 6th of the juniors, ahead of Isabel Wingate. Then it's Darren Booser, bike number 17, first of the seniors, ahead of his son Kian Booser by just half a second. Then it's Michael Stone rounding out the overall top 10. And but the biggest mover is that of Alfie Garrett. Across the line is the first of the MZs, and that is the 85 of Andy Wales, who is leading Gordon Ryan and Alexander Mann, with Pete Woodle in 4th ahead of the 102 of Caleb Wright. So that is the top 5 in the MZs. The 164 of George Cowie hasn't come across the line, unfortunately. So the 164 there of George Cowie, who started in 10th position, doesn't look as though they've come across the line.
Okay, watching the MZs come through, and that looks like a very healthy Andy Wales out in front. He certainly seems to have hooked up nicely now. Gordon Ryan in second. That's Alexander Mann, then Pete Woodle. Here comes that gaggle of bikes, and I thought it was going to be a 3-way confrontation. It's all of a sudden about a 6-way confrontation, because it looked like Carr, Hudson, Albright were breaking away. There were 3 abreast going up until Park, so very hard to pick who was going to do what there. Now all of a sudden we've got 6, maybe 7 bikes all arguing at the chicane. This is as close a race as we've seen all weekend in this crowd, I think, guys.
Yeah, it looks like Wilson's took the lead going into the bottom of the market. So yeah, I think like you said, I think it's about 7 riders that for the win in the junior class.
Right, Lewis, I'm going to be relying on your knowledge of all these guys, because they're so close together on the circuit as they go in towards the Hall Bend section. So through the right, and then back over to the left before the hairpin. And it looks as though it's Arnie Carr who's still just about holding on to an advantage there as they went out of our sight. But Alfie Garrett is the quickest man in the first sector by half a second over anybody else. He's gone purple in sector number 1. So we need to keep an eye on the number 27 of Alfie Garrett. But here they come out of Barnum across the start-finish line once more.
Cooper's first there. Looks like him and Arnie Carr have got about 2 or 3 bike lengths there. They've the 4 or 5 that are behind him. So let's see what he can do on this lap.
So Alfie Garrett made up 2 positions on that lap. Likewise did Hudson Cooper, and then Carr and Ormrod dropping 1 position each. Likewise Travis Rooker and Keys Ramsey. Chloe Gleason has made her way through on Harley Baker for 9th in class, 11th overall. And we should have the MZ coming with us very shortly as well. So here comes the MZ, and it's number 85 Andy Wales across the line. He has a look over his left shoulder, and he'll see nothing but ninjas behind him, because here comes Gordon Ryan now. So Wales 28.8 and then Ryan 34. So he's got around about of a 7.5 second advantage has Andy Wales, Keith, in the MZs.
He certainly knows how to ride well in these conditions. He is definitely the webfoot man of the MZ Brigade. I'm reluctant to actually call the order in the Ninjas. It's going to change as soon as we start to see it next time round, I think. They look like Cooper and maybe Carr, I think, were leading in Ormrod. Might still be the same way. Archibald and Arnie there can't quite find a way. There's somebody at the back of that pack who's made a move 7th place. And yeah, we might be holding each other up just a little bit along the way. I'm wondering if anybody else behind them might get a little bit close to the action. Maybe if the race was going to be a little late lap, it might be a bit of a change. But unfortunately, as we mentioned before, the race this afternoon are now down to 5 laps. We're trying to get the whole schedule away. That lead that Andy Wales has got continues to drive. You can see him coming down the hill. His biggest problem, I think, is some of the back marks. Such as the pace that they've said. These Ninjas, much more than both Ninjas, are actually proving a bit of a hazard. In fact, I think about this, but of course the traffic could well play a part. The Woodall and Man shuffling away from the traffic, and now Pete Woodall right up with Alexander Mann for that third place. I don't think he would be third place.
Yeah, it looks like Alfie Garrett's moved into third place there on that lap. They were in 59.7.
Yeah, they've got a 59.8 for Cooper there, 59.6 for Arnie Carr, 59.57 for Alfie Garrett there. Archie Ormrod up next there, 2:05. Travis Rooker. Isabel Wingate is only a 10th of a second away as well. So we've got a battle of 6 now. Keith Ramsey has just dropped to 1.5 seconds adrift now from the number 125 of Isabel Wingate. But Travis Rooker was purple in sector number 1 and Alfie Garrett was purple in sector number 2 then. So it's all very closely matched at the front of the Ninjas as the first of the MZs come past. That's Andy Wales. He's doing a 2-minute 2s, whereas the rest of the MZs are doing 2-minute 4s.
Yeah, that's quite a disadvantage. Izzy Wingate, of course, had the little bit of an issue. Isabel Wingate had the issue at the start there. She had to push off the line there yesterday, this is, and she seems to be able to get it up against the fence. So she basically had to drop the bike on the grass and clamber over the fence by herself. Any idea what happened to the bike that time at Matul Lewis?
I think she, well, possibly, I'm not sure. She set off from the grid. She got to just where the dotted lines were at the end of pit lane, and she was to pull up, but it doesn't look like she could get it to the steel fence, so she just left it on the barriers and moved over the barrier and kept herself safe, which is obviously what we have to do to keep ourselves safe.
Dropped a little bit of soft grass here at Cadwell Park and stuff over the Right, where's that battle then? Is it back near you guys at all? Quite spread all the way around here, isn't there?
Into Hallbends now, and Travis Rooker again, purple in sector number 1 with a 1 minute 9.7, 2/10 of a second quicker than anybody else around him, and in fact the closest challenger is from Isabel Wingate. He was a 1 minute 9.8 there, so that's only a 10th of a second away from Travis Rooker's purple first sector time. Here they come, and there's a little bit of a split between the leading 3 and the chasing trio. So Hudson Cooper, Arnie Carr and Alfie Garrett across the line now. There goes Archie Ormrod ahead of Travis Rooker and Isabel Wingate, but it's a purple, a 1 minute 58.9 for Alfie Garrett. He has the pace and is 2/10 of a second quicker than the 2 guys in front, but Hudson Cooper and Arnie Carr, their lap times were 2/1000ths of a second away from each other. Across the line now is the number 124 there of Baker. Then it's Mark Swarbrick who'll be up next, third of the seniors. Then it'll be the first of the MZs, and it's Andy Wales who is still in the 2-minute 2s, and he is now 14th overall. In fact, he's in the 2-minute 1s now, is Andy Wales, but the leaders of the Ninjas already passed you, Keith.
Yeah, they were. Looking at the glitch there. Who did you say was leading the way there? Was that Alfie Garrett?
Across the line it was Cooper, Carr, Garrett.
Okay, I think he had a long look over his shoulder there, and too long look over his shoulder. Well, that's the aerodynamics, right? Mine lost in the lead now. There's wide open there. I think it's quite colourful as they go down the orange fence. Certainly a battle of the orange fence. Top 3 there, so there's going to be Carr, Cooper and Ormrod in the orange fence as well, isn't he? I'm not quite sure. Can you see who that is from where you are, guys?
Yeah, it looks like it's Arnie Carr from Hudson Cooper going into bottom of Martin with Alfie Garrett and Rooker. Looks like Travis Rooker now closed that gap that it was over the line last time, so now looks like there's a 4-way battle for the lead.
Well, Ormrod would desperately like to win this one. He's had some bronzes, he's had the odd silver, but but he's certainly not had a top spot this year, so
And-
that would be brilliant for him if he can make it.
This is the last lap as well, isn't it? So we've already completed 4 laps. We're into the woodland section now, and we're looking up towards Barn then. So Cooper, Carr, Garrett and Ormerod, that is the leading 4 that we'll keep a very close eye on as the checkered flag goes out and gets readied.
Looks like it's Arnie Carr that's going to take this one.
Certainly is. That's a relatively big gap there from what it was as they went in towards the Hall Bend section. So it's Arnie Carr who takes victory by 1 second over Hudson Cooper, and then it's Alfie Garrett and Travis Rooker. Archie Ormerod then, he dropped 3 seconds in that second sector, and he's gone down to 5th position ahead of Isabel Wingate. Then it's Keith Ramsey ahead of Kean Booser, who beat his dad, Darren, by a quarter of a second on that final lap. But Darren Booser, he is the first of the seniors ahead of Michael Stone, who rounds out the overall top 10. Then it's Chloe Gleason, who sets her personal